Hello, so this is the part the one that is going to take the most of the time, so I have to just go like crazy here. And look at who I bring up this scene, the air fryer rig. So yeah, this is the air fryer rig, and this is the character that we are going to be using. And if this is the first video that you're seeing from this series, I'm working on a short film about a giant air fryer, this dude, that is attacking or invading this punk city. But we are having three main characters that are chihuahuas that are going to become a mutant three-headed giant chihuahua that is going to fight against this dude. So we're animating the first scene, and what I'm going to do right now is take all of this rig, oopsie, is going to take all of this rig and move it over here, black, so I don't see it anymore. I'm going to grab the 3/4 pose, which is the one that I'm going to need for this part, and I'm going to bring all this air fryer into a size closer to what I have on my thumbnail, something around here. Let me take this pose as reference. Something around here will work. And what I'm going to do is take this rough pass that I did on the previous video. I'm going to take this rough pass, reduce the opacity, and use this as reference for the timing, the acting, and the overall pacing of the scene. And what I'm going to do on this video mainly is design the key poses of this character. So you'll see how I block the character, how I design the pose on top of this character by drawing by doing drawovers on top of the rig, and then doing a final posing with the rig, polishing each pose. So on this project we're going to have one pose here, two, and we're coming here to a third pose. We're having then a fourth pose, fifth, and sixth, and then we start the walk cycle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 poses, 7 main key poses. So let's see how fast can I work on this. Yeah, I will start to keep things going. I will start with this pose. So I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to write here steps. These are the steps. So the steps that I'm going to be working on right now are number one, blocking. Number two, designing. Number three, polish. Normally on design, I divide number two in two steps: rough sketch, and tie down. Okay, and that is the process that I'm going to be working on right now. So first pose, let's go. Let's paint this in yellow. Not too much yellowish. Okay, so let's go. First step, blocking. What I do on the blocking is just grabbing all the pieces of my characters, moving this around. Grabbing all the pieces of my character, and move this out. Oops, let me block this rough. Grabbing all the pieces of my character and move them around. And something like this. I start moving a little bit of the deformers, not too much, because moving the deformers can sometimes take a lot of time that is not needed. So yeah, I'm just moving things around without being afraid of destroying this dude, because I know that on top of this I'm going to draw over to polish all my poses and to find amazing designs that this character deserves. Amazing. So we have that line like that. Maybe this leg comes something like this. This leg comes something like that. That's why I didn't put also too much time on the rough pass, because on the rough pass of the animation, because I know that will not be full 100% accurate with the proportions of this character here, and that eventually I'll just design my poses on top of this dude. But my rough pass was more to find the intentions of the character, the acting, the pacing of the scene, as I mentioned before. And once those things are done, then I can move here to the rig and start moving things faster. Awesome. Now that I have this dude, now that I move this dude like crazy, something like this, Trying to create a good silhouette. Yes, something like that. And I don't care about these things because eventually I will just uh, fix all of that stuff. These two have to also come a little bit more towards that way. This arm maybe something like this. This layout is a little bit too busy, so I'm going to bring all the opacity of this thing down. The opacity of the grid also bring this down a bit. Whoop. Awesome, so everything looks a little bit more clean for me to work on this. Amazing, these numbers, because it's an air fryer, will come here. And now, time to design. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Okay, it's 5 minutes from now. Let's see how long each pose takes me to rig. So, perspective of this thing. This I'm following this line, but I'm breaking this line because it's tilting that way. So now I'm following this on perspective here, but I'm still using this line here for the cube of this character, for the rotation of this dude. This dude will have a rotation like this, rotation like this and this. I'm also like sometimes freehanding this perspective bit. Awesome, amazing. We have something like this here. I don't want to draw that. Then I'm going to lower the opacity of these lines here because I don't need them anymore. Lower the opacity of this and start drawing the character on top. So this is going to be the top part of the character. Then we're coming like this. Then we have the center line that comes around here and then goes inside of here. Then we're having this line that first I'm drawing like a cube here for the underpants, and then I'm drawing my circle inside of this cube, so I can have, so the actual circle is respecting the perspective of this character. Sorry guys, I'm using the 100% of my brain right now. In here I'm putting this lower part of the body, something like this, Pumbaa. This one something like this, Pumbaa. And then this leg will come something like, this line should be more rounded. So this could be here. Good, this goes inside like that. Awesome. Let's go, faster. This line goes like this around the mouth. Awesome, something like this. These eyes, if it turns in perspective, we're seeing this like a little bit more like ovals. Something like that. This eye also something like that. This mouth goes a little bit lower. Awesome. And the lines of the teeth will follow those perspective lines. So everything is following those lines. Awesome. This line will come like this also. These things will come a little bit towards that direction too. The arms will connect around here, so we are having something like this. Something like this maybe. So poop. This is like the from here the design. This is my rough sketch. So this part of the air fryer will connect here to the center line. This part will come something like this and will open here, and we're having this silhouette. So this line is also following this line like this direction, the same direction, same. Well, this is opening a little bit, so I'm designing this to be a little bit custom. So yeah, something like that is closer to the perspective that I have for this character, that I assigned for this character. And the rhythm of this leg will be something like this, and the rhythm of this leg is something like more open, something like this. And then I can one line this thing from here to here. So I have an amazing rhythm connecting this part of the leg. Amazing. This part could be something like, I'm trying to find the flow of this character. So yeah, this could be like a straight here, and this connects one line with these. Maybe this part shouldn't be too high actually, so I can move this a little bit lower. Awesome, something like this will work. And we are having this amazing flow between this leg and this part of the crotch. This here, this line comes down like this, and this line comes down like this. this part of the leg connects like this with this part of the other leg, so we're having the base of the legs also making sense. Actually, this should be a little bit more up, this part of the leg more up also, and maybe this leg, to create more variety, can look towards the camera. Amazing. Also, that's the rough pose for this arm will come like this and open here. We'll having this arm that will have the feeling of the sketch, which is something like this, like this, like this, and like this. So this part of the hand is just a box, and from here to here I'm creating the fingers here, the other finger here, and the other finger here. And then here on the other, so see this line here, this will tell me like, oh, okay, this hand will be aligned around here, so I can connect these. Wait, no, actually, let me see, let me track another perspective line from here, which is going to be this one. So this hand will be somewhere around here. Now the arm is also connected around here. These underpants will come around this here. So this arm will come like this, connecting up. So I can push this. So in order to create a better silhouette, I can push this shape to be a little bit more up. So I'm revealing this part here of the arm. This like this. We have this finger like this. We're having this finger like this. This other finger like this. That's why I call this designing. Some people call it different, but for me it's like designing. And because I used to be a graphic designer, sometimes I think about this like designing a logo. So I'm trying to find good silhouettes, I'm trying to find good shapes, and once I found all of those, then is that I start like on this rough, then is that I start tidying down all of this. But for me it's very important, like that's these little shapes here, this little shape here, boop, 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 boop. See this shape here, I'm thinking about all of those things too, but also considering like how these parts will move in perspective. So all the pose feel connected. And now this arm feels like more like that instead of like this, but because I'm having this part here, I'm stretching that part a little bit more towards that side. So this finger could have more of that feeling of like not like that. So, amazing. So I'm getting rid of all of these lines, all of these lines, all of these lines, all of these lines. And what I'm going to do right now is opening these shapes here, Now what I'm going to do is take the rig and block again super fast to get it to this pose. So I'm going to put a color, maybe a red, and then I'm lowering the opacity of this also. And then I'm going to track this. I'm going to move this forward. That's why I'm saying this part takes time. Now imagine this on every key pose, and also sometimes I do this on every breakdown. But it's worth the time. So poop, I'm moving here the deformers, so I can create that rounded shape. But I don't care to be perfect right now, neither at this step, because I'm going to add another layer on top of this rough sketch, which I'm going to call tie down, in which I'm going to go deeper into the designing of this pose and also design the inner details, the inner shapes of the characters, designing more of the negative space more in detail too. Also these eyes, how these eyes will be aligned in perspective. Right now I am eyeballing this, but this should be placed properly in perspective. I'm eyeballing here, but I'll put more time on this later. I create these visual pegs, these purple things that you see around. Those are visual pegs that I created to be able to select all the parts of the characters easily. There you go. Now this character is have like very metallic pieces, So that's why I have these reflections of shadows and light on one side of the other. And eventually, once I figure out the colors and where the light sources are, I will just change the position of those if needed. So poop, amazing. Then I'm just skewing all of these things, maybe making this a bit bigger. And all of these lines, all of the lines of my characters help me to make or to convince this feeling of perspective. So everything should follow those perspective grids. Boop, 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 boop. Awesome. Again, I'm going rough there, but eventually I will polish all of that stuff. This part going up. This is a bit more rounded, and again, this is like a super fast blocking on top of this rough pass, and on top of this, because I am having here a closer blocking of the rig, closer to the final pose. Once I start doing the die down, I can use this new blocking as a very close reference of what my final pose will look like. I don't know why I flipped there. It's just the good habit of flipping, actually. And this part goes like this. Amazing. What is this? This is the arm, comes inside of here. This part comes here, here. This comes here. This line actually will turn that direction, so I'm curving this line like this. Boom, 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 boom. And it doesn't matter, like if your character have too many pieces, that's not an obstacle, to be honest, because I'm not wasting time moving all of these pieces randomly, but because I'm having a plan, because my sketch is my plan, and because I'm following the plan, it's not a problem that my character have many pieces, because I'm working smart and having a clear goal of what I'm going to what I want to aim by moving all of these pieces. But if I were not working with this, I will just moving pieces around until something feels good, and that's not only boring and tired, it's just a waste of time. And the results that you'll get by just moving pieces of a character around rather than just drawing on top and feeling the spirit of the pose, feeling the force of the pose, that's something that you can explore really fast by drawing on top of the character. Listen, we have there this part. I can open this a little bit more to here. What is this? This is the underpants. It's got it right here. We have this line that connects with the leg here. And I want to get to that one lining shape of this character here, so I'm just breaking the character until I get there. Poop, 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 poop. And the one lining thing is something that I've been saying in previous videos, is something that I love. Let me show you here. Get out of here, get out of here. See this rat here that have one line from the butt all the way here to the feet, or here this cat a line all the way here from the butt all the way here to the foot. Here also from the belly all the way here to the lower leg on the pants. Here also here from the crotch all the way here to the heels. That one lining thing is the flow that I'm looking inside of my character. And that's something that I can find easily by drawing on top and then just using my rig to match all of those things. Amazing, right? That's how that's how I design my poses, to make it feel connected. And not only like pieces moving around, but actually feel connected. Awesome. And that's more of like a drawing thing than an animation thing. And poop. Poop, poop, poop. Zoom. Let's go faster. Let's go faster. But Henry, why you want to go faster? Because there is a lot to do. Like my 6 poses. Where is it? 19 minutes? You'll see. You'll see. I'll go. As I get the rhythm of this, as I get some rhythm, I'll go faster. But yeah, this is the process. This is the process. This is how I combine the best of both worlds, like Hannah Montana used to say. Drawing and rigging, or using rigs, which is a bit boring. But there you go. I will never be able to finish the short films or the amount of short films that I want to do if I will do in traditional. No way. As my priority is making stories and just making a lot of stories, then traditional will not be the best friend for me at this point. See that beautiful shape? Now here this other leg also back. I can just do something like this. Oopsie. Awesome, and this connects all the way over here. This opens here, revealing this part. This comes here, up. Awesome, I think we have something. Now, these hands. I'm not, the way that I'm approaching these hands is just eyeballing the line thickness of these dudes, grabbing the brush tool, grabbing the brush tool and using this to create the hand shapes. So for the hand shapes, I'm having this for the palm of the hands. I'm tapering these shapes towards the top, cutting. Whoop, 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 whoop. I really like this little butt here, this line. And then we're having this shape here, having a straight. So I'm always tapering this shape to create dynamic shapes. Boom, 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 boom. Awesome. Cut. Get rid of this. Bam, bam. Amazing. We have the finger there. This other finger should be more like this. Boom. And pop. Awesome. Pam, 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 pam. Amazing. Now this other finger also. Bam, 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 bam. Boom. Ah. Come on. Okay, you need to go like this. Awesome. Ah. There you go. Awesome. Something like this. And this one, maybe I can find a pattern here with this finger here. Nah. Actually, this line should be something like this. Oopsie. There you go, something like that. There you go. Here we have one hand. And now the line thickness of this hand is super thin compared to the line thickness of the outside, but that's something that I planned because on top of this, I'm going to design the outer line until that have the same thickness like this. So yeah, I'm going to just go around here and design this outer line. Boop. Then just coming like this, and it's just tracing on top of this, and it's an extra step just because of the style that I want for this short film. It's an extra step, but it's not too time consuming. And I'd rather just clean up these hands as I work on the project than having to clean up every single frame like this. Oopsie. So this comes like this. Boop. And this comes like this. Papa. Get out of here. Get out of here. Pumba. Tuki. Boom. Bam. Pim. Boom. It's fast. It's just about having confidence in your lines and being like, yes, that's it. And eventually, as I keep moving forward, all of these poses that I'm doing, I'm saving all of these poses. So for future scenes, if I need to reuse a certain kind of like angle for the body, I can just come back to this same scene and use the same pose and just tweak some things around until I get the pose that I need for that scene. So all the process gets faster as I move forward with this. Now I'm thinking I could easily just do this with this thickness. Whatever. Awesome. There you go. That's the hand. Now I'm going to color this hand. Where's the color of this hand? Okay, the fingers are this color. Oopsie, I didn't use the black color of this dude. Body, legs, arms, handle. Where's the color of the hands? Palm. Okay, this is the palm. Fingers. These are the fingers. Fingers, 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 fingers. Zoom. There you go. That's the hand. Amazing. What else? Okay, come on, the other hand. Maybe I can use the same one that I drew here. Flip. Yes, amazing, beautiful. I can use the same one. Poop, poop. Awesome. I can use the same one. Amazing. Amazing. Now I'm going to grab these. Oh, I'm going to grab these rough sketch that I did here, and I'm going to put it out here. I don't need it anymore. And on top of this pose that I did here, I'm going to sketch. I'm going to sketch and just polish and be my own director, telling myself like, hey, here, 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 fix this, fix this, fix this. Amazing. So let's go. Again, let's use a red color. Okay. You know what? Where's my favorite brush? Marker 2. How long is this video? 25. I still have more poses to do. Whatever. So here, this part should be more rounded. That part should be more rounded. Shouldn't end up like in a straight line there. You know, blue, 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 blue. Should be more rounded. Now from here to here. From here to here, we're having more of a. Can we have this shape? Can we have this shape? Maybe we can. Or maybe we can have a straight. A straight will work better because we are having a curve here on this side. See? So this is the overall shape of the pose of this character. And from here to here, I need to polish this line so it's like this, connecting there. This is an S. You see? This is an S. And here to here, this line will come like this, around this part of the leg or something like this. I like this more. Now the horizon line is here, so we are seeing this leg like all in the middle. So this leg should be something like this actually. Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, I'm drawing around. Awesome. And then this part will come like this. Awesome. This leg is cool, like there in the front, something like this. Amazing. This part of the leg will come like this, and then like this, and then like this. Awesomeness. And then these will be like this. Amazing. And now look. Now we're doing something interesting here around the shape, also to find this. Amazing. This part here. Now I'm taking this, I'm taking this and moving this a little bit lower. Awesome. Just it's a parallel line of what I had there. Now look, now this is the trick to place all of the things properly in perspective. So here we have this line that is like going that way, and we're having this line. Actually, what we're using? We're using this, and yeah, we're using this line and this line for the perspective of these two. So the eyes, the top part of the eyes, if I'm establishing this top part of this eye to be there, the top part of this eye over here should be around there. And this one should be around there. But something is not quite well there. This is my center line. Wait. This is my center line. This is the eye line. Is that correct? Is that correct? Oop. Yeah, so the eyes will be something like this. And the mouth also will follow those lines. So, okay, I'm using those red lines as perspective lines. These eyes will be something like this and like this. Then the mouth, this is the center of the mouth. So this part of the mouth will be something like this. So the apex of my curve, I have to, whoop, this is the apex here at the center. There you go. This is the middle teeth. I don't think we have middle teeth, right? Yeah, it's just two. So the teeth will be here and the other teeth will be here. We don't need the tooth here. Awesome. Amazing. Actually, this could be a little bit more tilted that way. Awesome. And we're having something like this. You know, I want the eyes to be bigger, so I want that. So I have to also make this eye bigger here. Cool. Let's get rid of the perspective lines to see if this is actually working or feeling good. Not bad. Not bad. And the numbers will come here. 31. Awesome. Now these horns could be something like this. And more rounded towards this port. Awesome. You know what? I want the mouth to be open a bit more, so I'm lowering this and I'm taking this line and moving down, or maybe just redrawing. So I'm trying to connect my mouth towards these central lines. See? Pumba. Tuki. And then these lines comes like this. Tuki. Pumba. There you go. And maybe move this a bit back, a bit. So eyeballing also works a bit. There you go. And this side part of the character, a straight line there. Now let's compare this with the rig. Yeah. You know what? This should be a bit more like this. Also. And I want to open this eye a bit more. Now, let's go back. Whoop! So the eyes of this dude, also I have to consider the volume of this dude that is like this. So the eyes should go like the way that I put it here on the rig, should be squashed towards this ball, following that volume. So yeah, it's closer to what I did there. And this one is okay because it's going that way, and this one is going that way. So yeah, we have something good there too. I also have to consider that if I were to do this and this and this and this shape, it will not actually work because these shapes goes around the volume of this tooth. So that's something that I just noticed right now. And this center line actually I think should be around here, to be honest. So this mouth come here, here. Apex, apex, la concha de tu madre, apex, no, la puta, apex, there you go, boom, and then we have this, amazing. Then we have these two teeth going that way. Yeah, that feels better. But because now I consider also the volume of the character, not only the perspective of this thing. Boom, 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 boom. Amazing. And in regards of the arms, I think this is the middle line, so the arm should be connected here, and this should be like this. This should be straight here, and then connecting this straight that way. So on this part, I'm refining this pose. I'm being my own director and telling myself, like, hey, dude, you know this shape looks more appealing. And I'm just doing all of those things here. And then just taking my rig later and tracking, putting those things on top. Now this thing, I can just make this a little bit bigger. I'm designing the negative space around my character. So see this pointy thing here? That's also part of me designing the pose. What else? The fingers are working well there. The perspective of this arm, this part of the arm could be something like this. Something like that. Oopsie. There you go. Something like nope, I'm losing volume. Something like this, and I'm seeing this like this, and this hand could be a little bit more tilted that way. Also, now this is like too flat. I can move this. I'll tilt this hand a little bit up, so I can just put that landmark and move this here like this, or I can move this down, so it actually feels like yeah, down looks better. Now I have to move these, and because this is connected with the hand, is moving both at the same time, so I'm just moving things around again like this. More negative space here between that part of the robot and the hand. Amazing. This part will come a little bit here. So all of those notes that I drew here on this part is just me directing myself and saying like, hey, do these changes to polish the pose. And I'm going to grab all of this right now. I'm going to grab all of this and use as guidelines to pose my character. So yeah, I fall asleep for a bit when finding the perspective of the features, but now I'm back again trying to go faster. There you go. And this part goes like this, boom, around, making this more rounded. And I'm now following this red line that I drew to find or to create the flow of the character similar as the Disney images that I show you on my wallpaper. So in that way I can design the big shape that contains my character, which is a straight on this side and curvy line on the other one. So I'm doing something like this, Pumbaa. This comes like this, Pookie. Boom, and this comes a little bit more like this actually, just more like an S curve here. Awesome. This comes down like this. The shadows bigger, tapering towards the bottom. This light will come like this. I forgot to design also these shapes. This should also be included on the rough design polish that I did, but I'm not losing too much time here. Just posting this really fast. Now these lines is just tracing at the end of the day here after the draw overs. It's just tracing, but that makes my workflow really fast instead of just guessing and moving parts around. Boop, and the pose ends up looking better than just if you were moving pieces around. Fuck, amazing. Now I want to make this leg a little bit thinner. Boop, awesome. This part comes and goes like this. Maybe this highlight, I'll move it a little bit there so it feels like the leg is facing that direction. So I'm moving some lines here to push that idea. This line will come here. Oopsie, will come here. Oops. Something like this and something like this. Amazing. The mouth. Using the deformers and being super careful right now with the deformers to have clean shapes around. Like this. Boom, ba, boom. And these teeth will follow the. Maybe I can round this a bit so it doesn't look too flat. And then taper in this shape towards the top. Oop, something like this. Amazing. The eyes is working well there. I'm not going to be too picky right now because I'll never finish then. And there you go. We have the pose. Oh, no. This part. The shoulder should come here and we'll have this type of shape here. Boop. This arm will come and connect here. Awesome. This will come here and this line will come here. Awesome. Now I have to clean this shape around. This is the thing about this rig. Sometimes you have to put some extra steps to polish and clean stuff. Awesome. That will work. I should open this part a bit more here. Boop. Following the draw overs. Now there you go. Let's turn off this and let's turn off the rough animation too. There you go. Now I'm looking here at the render view, seeing like, okay, I have to connect this line here towards the bottom. Another line like that. And also here I'm tangenting the shape of the hand with that part of the arm, so I'm moving this piece around. What else can you see here? This is not too smooth. Then I just have to move this line a little bit up and smooth this thing a bit more. Something like this. Also, it's just like there you go, something like this. There you go. It looks better. Sometimes I have to eyeball things just to polish the stuff around to make sure everything is looking well. This arm is not quite working for me yet. What if I... No, I want to avoid this dude like feeling like in some ways grabbing that. I don't want this to grab that part there, so I'm just moving that apart. Also looking at the perspective dots, this will be lower. Yeah, this will work. This is okay for now. Like 41 minutes in one pose, so you have like an idea, and I also have an idea of how long this animation will take. Let's go, next pose. I'm going to avoid the first pose because the first pose is a little bit tricky for now, so let's go to the easy ones to just get some momentum going on this. So then we're going into this pose here. We're going to this pose here in which we're going to need a side view. So let me see if I can come here. Yeah, I can come here and grab this upper part of the torso and paste it here, back. Move this dude like this. Move this dude like this. Grab this eye here. Move this part of the eye here. It's angry. Let's see if I don't have to do too much here on this pose. Maybe for this pose the drawers will be a bit faster. Because it's a simple, this pose is simpler than the previous one that I just did. This comes like this. This comes in front of that part. This comes here. Now I'm flipping just to check how the shadows work with this. Okay, this goes at the half of this horn. Awesome. Maybe this part's a bit more flat here. And now the legs. So now the same thing, the same steps that I mentioned. This is my rough blocking. So bear with me. This is my rough blocking. I want to turn this arm because I want the curve to be on the other side. And then in terms of the legs, I have to just flip and track the position of these legs. So these are the same position. Then I'm flipping, but of course this will have a different feeling eventually. Boom, boom, boom. This comes like this. Oopsie, lower leg like this, upper leg like that, boom. Some blocking. Bah, oof, I can feel the feeling of a squash in here on this leg. And this hand turns a bit more small because it's going away in the distance. This arm too, something like this. Amazing, yeah, this push will be faster. So this leg will come like this, bam, to the front, and this one here like this. I'm hungry. How long is this video? 44. Let's finish this pose. Yeah, this goes like this. This goes like this. What is this? This is the upper leg, pants, body. Where's the package of this dude here? There you go. Also, moving pieces around. Cool. Now, draw overs. This is the same step, the same presses. And sometimes I just put music and I'll go crazy, or even podcasts. I also like to listen to podcasts while I work. But this time, I'm just recording this for you guys. So poop 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 poop. Now the rhythm of these two here will be something different. Will be something like this, and this will be something like this. So this part will come like this, bum bum bum. This knee will come like this. This comes like this. There you go. And this leg. Wait. Oh, I cannot flip between these and the previous one. Okay, I have to mark a frame here. Boop. Oopsie. Let me just back. Awesome. So I'm flipping between these and these to just feel the squash and the stretch of all of these juicy pack. Amazing. This line will come like this, and this line will go like this. Black. Yeah, that line will go like this, back. This leg will go like this. This line will be straight like this. I can round this shape a bit towards the top. A bit, so it's also tilting. It's not only forward, but it's also tilting backwards. And this part here of the crutch will come like this. Oop. Also, you know what? Shouldn't be too tilted. I'll leave it up. Boom. This part of the teeth will be like this. This will be super flat. Actually, this will follow this lower line here. And this could follow this same line. Looks a little bit weird. Awesome. Pam. Now this horn will go like this. Awesome. Now this arm will change. No, actually, more like here. The arm will come here. Remember, this is like the rough. So my finger will come like this. I can group these other ones like this and like this. So I have my thumb here. The palm like this. Awesome, but actually I don't like this. There you go. It's like, and this curve here will be this way, this direction. We're having the rectangle here of the palm. The palms. That's my future home. And then we're coming like this. Boom. Something like this, and boop, the butt here. So we're having this sense of perspective, like, oh, first, what the heck? Something like that. I can bend these even more like this. Awesome. So I'm trying to find a good silhouette also between the hand and the arm and all of that, and the flow from here to here, and the flow from here to here. Amazing. You know, I think I can unify these two shapes so I can have some rhythm here between these fingers or something like this. Yeah, that works better. Actually, all of these fingers can be like that. So these can be like something like this. Awesome. So I'm having this flow between these shapes. This will be a little bit foreshortening. Awesome. There you go. This is the rough posing for this one. Block, lower the opacity, and same step. Coming here to the rig and start moving all the pieces around. Wow, I thought like I was going to do the keys on one video, but I think it would take more than one. So, but yeah, let's keep the momentum going. I'll eat after this video and then keep going to see how much we can get done on this animation scene. Poop. I haven't even counted how many scenes I'll have for this project. I don't want to do that too. I'm just going to animate as much as I can every day, and writing more ideas also. I'm putting like 1 hour a day to write my ideas, to write more short films, and packaging all of those short films in one single universe. Because I was thinking like the creators of Rick and Morty or The Simpsons. I'm like, wow, they had to work on their on one single franchise for all their careers. Like, of course, the universe is huge in the things that you can use on all of it on those universes is amazing. Like this, the Halloween, just having Halloween special for The Simpsons is something crazy that you can have a lot of ideas that you can explore, right? But I was like, is it still the same franchise or the same IP to work the same idea of the family for a long time? Same for Rick and Morty. Of course, you can explore it around a lot of ideas from Rick and Morty, but I don't know. I don't like too much the idea of staying with the same characters for too long of a show. And right now, I'm building a universe in which I have many characters in the same universe. So I'm spoiling a little bit. I'm spoiling a little bit how this crazy world works, but it's exciting. It's exciting for me. I never thought like I always thought like, oh, it's so difficult to come up with ideas, but actually, dude, it's hard to not come up with ideas. It's hard to not come up with ideas. And right now, what I'm doing is just doing ideas that I like. Doing ideas that I like. I'm not trying to go for a certain specific kind of niche or public. I'm my best public right now, and I'm doing the scenes or the animations ideas that I really wanted to watch, that I want to watch on TV someday. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing, and I'm really liking all the crazy ideas that are coming out of my head. I'm surprised. I'm surprised sometimes. I'm surprised, but it's true. Like the other day, I was watching an interview of Guillermo del Toro. I think it was an interview that they were making of him in Spain, and he was like, "Dude, how is it you come up with ideas?" I think someone told him, and he was like, "It's weird not to come up with ideas when we are in a world where you can like." I'm the worst, just quoting quoting phrases. But it was like, even if you're in traffic and you see the person next to you in the car, that you can start imagining like a story out of the life of this dude. Just because you have a lot of time during the traffic, and maybe the facial expression that this dude have in the car, maybe that's something that will causing you like some curiosity of like, what might happen to this dude, and you start making stories in your mind. Or like if your kid is not in house like on time, you start making stories like, oh, what could happen, where's my kid, or something like that. And I feel like it's the same thing. Like the other day, I was talking with a friend, and he was like, we were talking about ideas. And he was like, yeah, he likes to say like there are bad ideas, and I'm like, no, there are not bad ideas. There are just ideas, and then you just grab those ideas and you make those ideas specific and unique to you. And when you make those ideas specific and unique to you, then you bring a crazy bad idea, if you want to call it like that, and you can actually make that idea entertaining. And that's and that's what I'm doing right now. That's what I'm doing right now. And it's again, it's unique to me. It's unique to what I like, and it not necessarily have to be for everyone. So yeah, that gives me a lot of freedom. Then that I think that is the thing that gives me a lot of freedom, because I can just poop ideas like crazy because I'm just thinking about me. But in some way, there is another phase of this in which I also have someone's advice that was like, Henry, you also have to think about the experience of the audience, and I do feel like the experience of the audience is also different from wanting to the audience to like something that you're making. Wanting the audience to like something that I'm making is not in my interesting. Wanting the audience to experience the film, to have an experience while watching the film, that is something that I'm more interested in than maybe wanting the audience to like my stuff. And making an audience have some feeling, some emotion, some experience while watching my films, that's the biggest challenge, and that is what is exciting me the most to pursue or to learn or to be able to develop that ability of being able to make the audience feel engaged with my film. So yeah, I'm super curious how I'm able to achieve that, and well, I'm trying to improve that skill as I keep making more films and more films and more films, and yeah. I remember one of my mentors. He's on his 60s, and he was like, "Yeah, when I was younger, like in terms of like talking about life, what we could do, all the possibilities that life can offer you, especially in this career as an animator." And he was like, when I was younger, I used to have like I was talking with a friend, and immediately an idea came into my mind, and I was like, we were already thinking about that idea as a show or as a potential, or having some potential to create an animation out of it. And he was like, but that is something that I have lost over the years, or something that people lost over the years once you're not that young enough. And that stuck with me, and I'm like, you know what? If right now my mind works like this fuel of just pooping out ideas like crazy, why I'm not taking advantage of that and using that as my full potential? And sometimes I just get lost about thinking my own ideas. I just get lost. And that's something that I've been looking for. Like, what is the thing that I do that I get lost in time, that I just get lost in time. And sometimes it's that. Sometimes it's just when I start writing my ideas or sketching my ideas, I feel lost in time. And sometimes I still, I sometimes I stay like that for a long time during the day, like just thinking about that idea. Just thinking about that idea for longer, and I'm like, oh, dude, you know what? Here, because I'm foreshortening this arm, I'll change this arm from this other here that I have here, which is an arm. Instead of having like deformers like the other one, these deformers I can just deform in different ways. Sorry, dude, my brain is already burned out. So maybe it makes no sense what I'm talking, but yeah, this arm have like a 4 points deformer in which I can just grab and deform and for sure and have more custom shapes. And you'll be like, Henry, but how is that you're going to tween between that arm and that other? Because I don't tween. I don't tween. I tween for looking timing, for looking for some timing and stuff. But most of the time, I like when the puppet just destroys itself, and then I just grab something inside of that destruction that the puppet is having, and then I start building my character again. So yeah, I don't rely on tuning too much into boom harmony, and that's why I'm just changing my pieces as I want here, and you'll see. And because also this everything is planned. I'm also working on a super cartoony style animation, not only because I love it and because I grew up with the old Cartoon Network stuff from the 2000s and the early 90s, in the latest 90s, is because it's also faster and easier to work. It's a style that is faster and easier to work because they can take advantage of this snappy animation style of these cartoons. So that will allow me to systemize or to standardize the animation process on all my films and being able to do what I want to do, which is making films, not spending all my time animating. Animation is only a tool for a bigger end for me that is actually making films. So yeah, how long is this video? 59 minutes, 2 poses. No worries, I'll get faster. I know I'll get faster, but before I'm going to eat something. And yeah, this is the behind the scenes. Now imagine doing this for every scene. That every scene is a different challenge. So that way, it's not boring. It's not like reading. For reading, even though it's different character, it's almost like the same thing. It's like the same thing. But whatever. We already passed that, so we don't have to feel traumatized by that step anymore. So yeah, as I was mentioning, when I was mentioning a lot of things, some thoughts about some thoughts about this stuff that I'm doing right now, some of the plans, some of the behind the scenes also that I'm working when I'm recording, which is just coming up with ideas, writing ideas, drawing ideas, talking with my friends about ideas. Most of my ideas come out from memes. That's really crazy how memes can inspire me too much, and I love that. So this comes like this, and this actually comes like here, and this shadow comes like here. So we're having this shape. So yep, this is it, this is it, this is it, this is it, this is it. Almost there, almost there, almost there. Dude, I wonder if I get slower by talking. Actually, I can reveal a little bit like the knee here, so it's not here inside of this, and I can show a bit there. And because it's further away in perspective, I can actually show that part. Something like this. Let's maybe a little bit up. Anyways, I'm going to make a draw over on this, but I'm flipping just to see how this pose move from this to this, from this to this, from this to this, from this to this, from this to this. And now I'm going to draw the hands again, new drawing tool. Now this time I'm going to use the final thickness of the character, so I'm not losing time cleaning on top of this like I did before, but I learned 25 will be the size. Here I have the hand, tapering toward that side, poop, poop. The cool thing about this character is when this character transforms, it becomes like the hands becomes like some plugs in which electricity comes out of it. So that's super nice thing that I come up with. So pack, get out of here. Now this finger will come like this. And it will come like, oopsie, will come like this. Oopa. So yeah, something like this, plaque squash there. Amazing. You know what? I want to one line this line. So something like straight, something like this. So it's like this finger is foreshortening. It's looking towards camera, something like this. Amazing. Poop, poop, get out of here. This line, I don't need it anymore. And this line will come something like this. And this line will come like this. Whoops. The base, I'll share the same shape for the base here and for this one here too. Oof! Look at this pinky. Open this a bit more. Open this a bit more. Awesome. Pack. So these are sharing the same base here. So it's creating a flow on that part and also on the top part that is looking up in perspective. Something is not working here. Maybe the shape of this base shouldn't be like, oopsie, I was screwing up this character. So maybe the shape of this hand actually should be something like no, it should be something like something like this. Yes, it should be something like that. This is amazing. Boop 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 boop. Close. Boop boop boop. and then this part of the palm, the palms. There you go. Not bad, not ugly, just there. It's just there, you know. Awesome. That's the hand, and there you go. I can move this a bit up, and then I can grab this and move a bit down and color this hand. Maybe this could be in front like this. Nah, let's keep it there. No more time on this. No more time on this. Henry, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. And I'm like, no, no. Just need this to polish this and clean here. And I'm like, get out of here, dude. Get out of here. Okay, let's get out of here. Back, color this, and palm this color, fingers this color. Back. And the line thickness is not the same as the rig. So, oopsie. I need to clean this thing a bit more. Should I do it right now or should I do it later? We are here. We are here right now. We are doing this. This is me rushing, not caring about anything. But because this video is too long already and I'm hungry. And for the 4 people that is liking this video, if you and I think those two of them is Andrea and Susu. So hi guys. So for the 2 people that is liking this video, if you have any special request or you would like to see something special, let me know. Maybe I can find ways of explaining those things while I'm working on my short films. Finding ways of finding any way maybe of during the process of designing my short film in which I can just show how I approach those things. Not how those things are done, but how I approach those things. Because there are many ways of doing things, and I'm here just showing you the way that I do my stuff. Awesome. There you go. A little bit messy, such a messy hand, but because I am at this point also designing, I can just clean that hand later. But there you go. That's the hand for this one, and for this one, let's go. New hand. Now I learned from that hand that the thickness here might be a little bit like 40. Yes. So this hand, this palm of the hand will be something like this, like this, like this, like this. Pam, 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 pam. How long? 1 hour and 7 minutes. So this will be like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. Pam, 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 pam. That's why I really love the brush tool here, because I can just crack, break all of those things. See all of that rhythm between these fingers. Let's see what we have there with all of that craziness that I did here. Pam, 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 pam. And again, this upper part of the hand, I can cut this with something like this, so it's foreshortening, looking towards the camera. Back. I don't like it, but I don't care. I'll revisit this later. Maybe this should be around here, so I'm going to redraw this part. I'm taking these lines, getting rid of this old thumb that I designed here. Bam, 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 bam. Amazing. And connecting this line with this line. Amazing. And then putting black this thing there. Now this finger is too huge. A little bit more small. There you go. Bam. And then I'm taking the colors. Bam. Color here. Oopsie. Color here. Fingers. Back. There you go. We have this pose, and then I get rid of this. I should like polish this and all of that, but I'll not do that. Like sometimes I have to do like tie down and all of that stuff, and sometimes I don't have to. Well, I'll do have to just to polish the shapes and all of that. Like here, for example, I will leave a note like, "Hey, clean that shape." But overall, it's working. I will maybe move this arm a little bit back so I can create a negative space here between the hand, the finger, and the body. There, pook, see this negative space there? That will just improve the pose overall. See this negative space here, pam, 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 pam. And that's something that I not necessarily learned from. Well, I learned from. I actually learned about posing with a master class that I did with a Disney supervisor. Amazing, but actually, you can see that the world becomes your library, like Kobe Bryant used to say. When you start learning different type of things and different type of skills, I actually learned on a composition class, color class from Marco Gucci, an online course that he said like if you draw shapes that even a kid can cut with scissors on a paper, that means that you're drawing a nice shape, a cool shape. But if your shape is too complex, then you suck and you should be thinking about your life. He didn't say that, but that's something like if a kid can cut that shape with some scissors, that means that you're having super appealing shape. Like you succeed making a beautiful appealing shape, and that not only for designing compositions but also uh, for posing. I think it counts. Look at this negative shape here. See this negative space here, this negative shape or whatever that is here. It's not working. There you go. Now it's clear. Now it's clear. It's not with a black thing there. It's there. And all of those shapes, yeah, those are shapes that a kid can actually cut. Also, there you go. That this is the pose. Two poses in 1 hour. Okay, now I'll go faster. I'll go faster. I promise. But here we are flipping and we're seeing that it's working. And if I were to put some notes, I will do that on another video because yeah, there's always room to improve poses and there's always room for improvement, but we also have to learn how to detach from what we're doing and be like, okay, this is enough, and I need to continue moving forward with the project, not romanticizing each part of the project and be like, ooh, this have to be perfect, perfect. No, it doesn't have to be perfect. It have to work, and if it works, we can continue moving forward. Awesome. See you in the next video, and if you like this, don't forget to subscribe and like. Bye.